Who invented the camera? A 1,000-year journey behind the lens. Before selfies, before smartphones, even before film. The idea of capturing an image without using a brush fascinated humanity. But who was the genius that made the first camera? How did it evolve from a dark box to the lens in your pocket? Welcome to Flashback Facts. Today we unravel the amazing history of the camera. The story of the camera begins not with film or photos, but with light and shadows. In the 5th century BCE, Chinese philosopher Mozi described a mysterious phenomenon. Light passing through a tiny hole could project an inverted image of the outside world onto a wall. Centuries later in Arab science, polymath Ibn al-Haytham, in the 11th century, formalized this into a device. The Camera Obscura, Latin for dark chamber. But this was just a projector. It couldn't record anything. Still, it became a vital tool for artists and scientists. During the Renaissance, artists like Leonardo da Vinci and Vermeer used the Camera Obscura to trace real-life scenes. Imagine placing a canvas inside a dark room, the light streaming through a pinhole and projecting a perfect image of the world. It was revolutionary. But again, it was only for drawing, not capturing. What humanity needed was a way to freeze that light permanently. Enter the 18th and early 19th centuries, when chemistry and optics began to merge. In the 1720s, a German scientist, Johann Heinrich Schultz, discovered that silver salts darken when exposed to light, but no one knew how to fix the image. And 8 hours of sunlight to create what we now call the first photograph. View from the window at Le Grasse. It wasn't until 1826 that the magic truly happened. A French inventor named Joseph used a pewter plate bitumen. Yes, 8 hours for a single blurry image. But history had been made. Partnered with another Frenchman, Louis Daguerre, to refine the process. In Ibasenjo, after S' death, Daguerre introduced the Daguerreotype, the world's first commercial photographic process. People no longer needed paintings. They could be photographed. It used silver-plated copper, treated with iodine vapor, exposed in a camera, and developed with mercury fumes. It reduced exposure time from 8 hours to about 10 to 30 minutes. A huge leap. Suddenly, portraits became the rage. Meanwhile, in England, William Henry Fox Talbot was working on his own method, one that used paper negatives, not metal plates. In 1841, he invented the calotype, a process that allowed multiple copies of a photo to be made from a single negative. The calotype was softer in detail than the daguerreotype, but it laid the foundation for modern photography. Film negatives gives prints. Throughout the mid-1800s, photography exploded in popularity. Travel photographers captured ancient ruins and distant lands. War photographers brought home the reality of battle. Portrait studios opened in every major city. Cameras were still big and bulky, but they were changing how we remembered history, how we documented life. Then came George Eastman, the man who had put cameras in everyone's hands. They developed the film, made prints, reloaded it, and returned it to you. In 1888, Eastman introduced the Kodak camera, a box camera preloaded with 100 exposures. Their slogan? You press the button, we do the rest. After taking your photos, you mailed the whole camera back to Kodak. In 1900, Kodak released the Brownie camera, small, affordable, and easy to use. It brought photography to the masses. In the early 1900s, black and white film ruled the world. Then in 1935, Kodak launched Kodachrome, the first successful color film. Fast forward to 1948, Edwin Land introduced the Polaroid camera, instant photography in under a minute. No labs, no waiting. Photography was now becoming instant, personal, and everywhere. Then came the digital revolution. In 1975, an engineer at Kodak, Steve Sasson, built the first digital camera prototype. It used a CCD sensor and stored images on a cassette tape, in black and white and at 0.01 megapixels. The world wasn't ready yet. Film still dominated. But by the late 1990s and early 2000s, digital cameras began replacing film entirely. No more rolls, no more developing, just click and save. Then, of course, came the smartphone camera. Today, Over 90% of the world's photos are taken with phones. With every upgrade, more megapixels, better sensors, AI tools, your smartphone camera has become a pocket-sized marvel, capable of cinematic photography. From ancient light tricks to AI-enhanced lenses, we've come a long way. But the camera didn't just capture images, it changed how we live. It shaped history through war photos and journalism. It influenced art, fashion, and culture. It created new forms of expression, from photography to vlogging to memes. We don't just see the world through lenses now. We share our lives through them. From a dark room in Egypt to the lens on your phone, the camera has traveled a mind-blowing path through time. So next time you snap a selfie, remember, you're using the result of a 1,000-year dream. The dream of capturing a moment forever. Like the video? Subscribe for more fascinating origin stories on Flashback Facts. Drop a comment. What's the coolest camera you've ever used? Thanks for watching, and keep looking through the lens of history.